and welcome to the Habits and Home Show. I'm your host, Lisa Lazat, and I help busy moms bring order to their homes by downsizing and decluttering and ditching old habits in exchange for systems that bring peace and more enjoyment to their lives. If you're a mom trying to show the love of Jesus to your family, but the clutter in your home keeps you overwhelmed and frustrated, you have come to the right place. On this podcast, you will hear easy step-by-step tips to declutter and create systems so you can keep your home organized and finally walk in the peace God has promised you. Need some accountability? I've got you covered there too. Join the Accountability Club, a community of like-minded mamas decluttering and systemizing our homes together. Are you ready, friend? Let's get started. Hey friends, and welcome to the show. I work with a lot of women who are either diagnosed or they suspect they have some form of ADHD. And one of the topics that keeps coming up in conversations that I'm having with them is that they have these huge bursts of energy where they can get a lot done and focus on things for a temporary amount of time. And then they have this lull of energy where they have these huge shifts of lots of energy and then lack of energy, or huge shifts of focus and then lack of focus. Now, that could be due to ADHD, or it also could be because we are women and we have these patterns in our monthly cycle where we have an upswing of a lot of energy and then we have a downswing of energy. So whatever it is, whether it is indeed ADHD or whether it is indeed your menstrual cycle, I think if you know both of those and study them and research them and build your life based on them, that it could be a tremendous benefit instead of you constantly fighting against what is already naturally happening in your body. I was just talking with somebody the other day on a consultation, and she suspects that she has ADHD, and I stand by this, that yes, there is a time and a place for medication, but I really believe that your environment either benefits or hinders your cognitive abilities. Okay. So even if you are undiagnosed or diagnosed ADHD, I really feel like your environment will help you if you set up your environment to support your daily needs. So getting back to building our life and cleaning and decluttering our home with our menstrual cycle, I want to break our menstrual cycle down into 4 parts. Now, you might have an irregular menstrual cycle. Please take this information and apply it as best as you can. I cannot speak with everyone. I am not a doctor. I am just somebody who has done my own research, and I too, at 41 years old, am still trying to learn the patterns of my body and to build a schedule, build a cleaning schedule, a decluttering schedule, a home maintenance schedule around my menstrual cycle, around my natural upswing of energy and downswing of energy each and every month. So I want to encourage you. I feel like women nowadays track their cycles, especially in their teens and 20s, so much better than we in our 30s and 40s have done throughout the years. Is just one habit that I'm not really good at. So I'm preaching to the choir right now. I really want to get better at tracking my cycle so that I can ride on those energy levels. When they are up, I can do more. When they are down, I can give myself a break and a rest in my home. Okay, so we're going to break your menstrual cycle down into 4 parts. The first part, or the first phase, is called the menstrual phase. This is when you start your period, and it lasts for anywhere between 1 to 5 days. Now, of course, yours could last longer or last shorter. So during this time, it's a good time for us to rest and reflect. Now, a lot of us don't have time to rest. A lot of us don't have time to just journal and light a candle and, have a spa day or anything. We can't do that, right? So what do we do during this time to maintain the order in our home? This is when our energy is at its lowest. So we can't do a lot. We can't take on new projects, right? Don't do that to yourself. And I would encourage you to wrap up old projects that you have started, before your period starts, because you're just going to feel, I can feel great about my body all month long, but as soon as I am about to start my period, I feel like the ugliest, fattest person ever. And I'm like, I don't feel like anything. You're going to feel the same way about your home. So I really want to encourage you, be strategic with your projects. When you start projects, start it in phase 2 and try to finish it in phase 3. So think about the timeline. Okay, I really only need to make a mess or do a project that's going to take 2 weeks so I can have a start and finishing date before my next period. So in phase 1, which is our menstrual phase, our energy is at its lowest. So I want you to focus on maintaining your home with simple resets. Simple resets. If you don't have a daily, a weekly, monthly, and a yearly reset routine in place, I want you to just reflect on that. Take the time and do a BM3, a bare minimum 3 task for your daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly resets. Just grab a piece of paper and write those down. Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And write what your daily reset is. What is your weekend reset, your monthly reset? Things that you don't do all day long, but you only do at night when you reset. Things you don't do all week long, but you do it every weekend when you reset. Okay, so take the time. Think about what your resets are and focus this time of the month during your menstrual phase on just maintaining your reset routines. Phase number 2 is your follicular phase. This is typically between day 6 and day 14. This is the time when your energy starts to increase, and it's a good time for planning and organizing in your home. It's probably the time that you want to get out your calendar and start doing better in your time blocking. You go to your Google Calendar and you clean it up. You delete old events, or you delete things that no longer pertain. Maybe you end up doing a lot of deleting in your phone in general. This is a good time to do like some digital decluttering, like your emails and your apps on your phone. And I don't know, it's a good time to do some digital decluttering. So in your follicular phase, it's a good time for planning and organizing. It's also a good time for making a decluttering to-do list. Maybe you think about the projects that you want to do and you want to break them into smaller projects. Maybe you want to do a project that takes no longer than 2 weeks so you can finish it up before your next period. But however, you might want to break like a room down, like one room, into 5 smaller projects. That is a good time to make your decluttering to-do list and set small achievable goals for yourself. This is also a good time for tackling organizing projects like setting up new storage systems or creating your new routines. So phase number 3 is your ovulatory phase. This is typically days 15 through day 17, probably a little bit longer or a little bit shorter depending on your cycle. During your ovulatory phase, you have the most energy. This is a good time to tackle big decluttering projects that you know that you can get done, like I said, before you start your period. So tackle areas that need high energy effort, like closets, garages, or an entire room if you can do it within that time. It's a good time to do deep cleaning tasks such as scrubbing your floors, washing windows, and reorganizing your kitchen. And if possible, schedule your big projects during this phase when you will feel the most motivated. All right, phase number 4 is your luteal phase. This is days 18 through 28 normally. During this phase, you want to maintain and finish up any loose ends. Anything that has been like sitting out on the counters, this is a good time to reset your entire house and basically kind of think of like getting yourself ready for a vacation. Wow, if only our periods were a vacation, that would be absolutely wonderful. So you know how you get ready to leave your house, and I don't know about you, but I have a travel checklist of things that I do before I leave my house for vacation. You should have before I start my period checklist and kind of think of okay, I'm going to go on a vacation. I like that idea. I think I'm going to create that for myself. Okay, so this is a good time to clear your counters, reset your entire house so that you are basically giving yourself grace during your menstrual phase to just take a vacation, just relax, just simply maintain the daily things that get pulled out or need to be put away or just to be cleaned on a regular basis, okay? We often feel like nesting during this phase, so we end up, that nesting feeling that we have, just kind of like tidying up. So kind of think about your phase number 4, right before you're starting your period, you're nesting, you're just kind of like tidying everything up, okay? So those are our 4 phases: menstrual, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal phases. Now, I want to talk about how to zone clean with your cycle, because in the past, I have encouraged y'all to break your home down into zones and clean 1 zone a week. Well, there are some weeks that I just don't feel like deep cleaning. Okay, now zone cleaning is different from your daily resets and your daily maintenance cleaning. Zone cleaning is where you take 1 zone, you break your home into 4 different zones, and you deep clean from top of the ceiling all the way down to the floor. You deep clean that zone. And there are some weeks, especially during my menstrual phase, that I just don't feel like doing that deep clean. And so I end up getting off track with my zone cleaning schedule. And I was actually talking with a client about this, and I said, you know what? Would it be better if you deep cleaned 2 zones in your, peak season of energy or your peak energy levels in the month, and then the other 2 weeks you took those weeks off when your energy was a lot lower? And she's like, I'm going to try that. So I tried it this past month, and it has worked. It worked so well for me. I had a huge burst of energy during my ovulatory phase, and I ended up cleaning 3 zones in 1 week. I think maybe even 4 zones. I was talking with my client about this, sending her my own accountability pictures, and I think I tackled all 4 of my zones all in 1 week. And then I was like, oh wow, I'm done for the month. I don't have to think about that. I don't have to focus on that. So if that is you, if you are leaning into your body's natural rhythm and you just don't feel like deep cleaning during your menstrual phase, then maybe double up on your zone cleaning throughout the month during your follicular phase or your ovulatory phase or even your luteal phase, and give yourself that quote unquote vacation time to not do any of your zone cleaning. So what you need to do is divide your home into 4 to 5 zones. If you have the most energy for 2 out of the 4 weeks of that month, deep clean all your zones then and take the other 2 weeks off from zone cleaning. Focus on maintaining your systems and organization during your weeks off by doing your daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly resets during that time. So focus on resetting when you are not in a decluttering project or doing any deep cleaning. All right, friends, I hope you take the time to look at your calendar. Start tracking your cycle so that you can optimize your energy levels to be able to maintain your home with your body's natural rhythms. And if you're interested in getting a little bit more assistance in your home, decluttering, organizing, or getting some clarity over your systems, I do have the Accountability Club that you can hop in. We are going through sentimental items in the month of March, and I don't want you to miss that. Now, a lot of y'all have been waiting for my photo and video courses to come out. This is for decluttering and organizing both your photos and your videos on your cell phone. I do have both of those courses available now. You can click the link below to check out the shop. All right, friends, I will see you right here next time on the Habits and Home Show.